which doesn't have any divisions on it. This type of angle finder which got the angles and can tell you exactly what angle you need. I got this little square now, little square, very good to use. My very common and used square and 45 degrees with a ruler which goes up and down, and you can use it very easy. The piece of file which is sharpened at one end, or a tough blade for a cold saw. Don't break the cold saw blade, it's too expensive. And my little rulers. This being said, I've been asked how did I determine my angles on my pyramid. Now I had trouble doing the angles and working with my angles on my pyramid. I started with rolling the paper on my pipe, and then I actually draw a line on 45 degrees, thinking I'm gonna get out very easy, finding the job very easy, finding my angles and cutting them. I failed doing this, so knowing I'm gonna have to do more jobs like this and cut my pipes on 45 degrees same size, I allow myself to go to the shop and cut the right 45 degrees on a sample. But I still didn't give up on working with the paper. I'm working with paper and with pipe. I roll my paper on my pipe after I cut it perfectly on a cold saw, 45 degrees and another angle of 35 degrees. These two angles for me are very useful when I work on my pyramids, and very useful and common angles around the house. Then I roll my paper, and I realized, having this sample, which for me will be forever, intending to make probably more pyramids, I did realize was a big difference in between what I tried to do at the very beginning and the shape is being given to me cut by a cold saw. These are two different shapes, 45 degrees both, but it's a different geometrical shape on a pipe. So if you intend to cut a pipe and it's big size, take a sample to a shop, ask someone to cut you a sample 45 degrees, 35, 30, and go home and roll your piece of paper on your little pipe, tape it up, then cut the shape you have. And then you can use it to cut as many 45 degrees you want on the same diameter. Now there was a problem, how did I match my angles on a pipe? On a piece of square, if you cut 45 degrees, it's very easy. They got four sides, a square pipe. A tube, a pipe, doesn't have any four sides. It's very hard, isn't it? Now you have to remember always to draw a middle line on your pipe when you cut the angles, so you can get the frame and the angles to line up perfect on that 45 degrees of yours. I recommend put your pipe next to a little square pipe and draw your middle line. It's pretty easy. Draw it all the way or just the ends where you intend to cut. It's no big deal. Once you have drawn the middle line, every time you slide in your little shape of 45 degrees, make sure you slide it with the tip on your middle line, and then mark it, and you'll always get the right size, because it's very easy to have your pipe to slip a little bit down or up or left or right, and then you will have a gap which is uneven and hard to weld. So on a pipe, if you intend to do more jobs on the same size of a pipe, cut it in a shop somewhere or buy yourself a cold saw, a blade one if you can. It's very good. It's a very good investment. That's what I've done in cutting my pipes. It's been very useful. I'm glad I told you I've been struggling to find a way to keep it around the shop, but I intend to make more. That's why I had to go to the shop. This being given and said, I'd like to show you now how to make an example of a frame. Now, I got here some square 25 by 25 angles. angles. I cut them all, they're all even, and I intend to cut them at 45 degrees. I'll mark. If you have your metal which is a little bit rusted, to be able to see your mark, I recommend take a piece of chalk. It's no big deal, it's just a small little trick. Mark your metal with your little chalk. And then when you place your square at 45 degrees and you mark it, you can see it. Pretty easy job. Hold on, I'm giving some headaches to my camera lady. Okay, you don't have to follow me. Now I marked my 45 degrees. Will be same on the opposite side. Once I mark myself my 45 degrees, you can see the line. At the end of the line, place your 90 degrees down. Alright? It's pretty easy. Now, you marked, and this is the area which has to go. This and this. So a little triangle and a little square. Now, another way of doing this, once you mark it, to make sure you can actually cut straight, or you want to complicate yourself and you want to be perfect, or you are a perfectionist, you can actually put a tape on the side of the line. Isn't it that nice? You can't go wrong. Now you mark it, now you place your little tape. Isn't it that beautiful and easy to cut? And all you have to do, now cut inside. And beautiful, you just cut your bit. I'll cut 2 bits to show you how my suggestion of a square of a little frame will look like. So let's cut the little frame. I'll give you 2 corners of a little frame I suggested, and I'll cut the 2 corners, 2 bits, and I'll show you how the rest will look like. As you can see, it's better to cut if it's shorter length. Like I said, you always will have losses when you work in a job. You lose 100 mil, 50 mil, 60 mil, and you will always buy more, so to make sure you got enough metal. That's your little corner, first corner cut. Now you have a little problem here, because this side is not on an angle of 45 degrees. We'll have to grind it a little bit to give you an angle of 45 degrees. We'll do that after we cut both sides.